everybody, it's me, Sam. We're back at it with another week of, you got it, Throwback Thursday. And this week is all about fact or fib. And I managed to narrow my list down to household items. Everything on my list is something that you can find in your house. And all the inventions that I picked range from the 1920s to the 1970s. So we should all be familiar with these products, but the twist is I'm gonna ask you guys if it's a fact or if something is a fact or a fib. And believe it or not, some of you guys are gonna be surprised because I know I was. So here we are, and let's get to it. So the first thing on my list are Band-Aids. You know, those ones for cuts. You put it over your little boo-boo. I know. Paper cuts are the worst. And I will always think that you need a Band-Aid for a paper cut. So the Band-Aids came out in the 1920s. 1920 to be exact. And okay, so the man that invented the Band-Aids his name was Earl Dickinson, and he made them. Here's a fact or the fib. Okay, so do you guys think that he made them for his wife, who was always cutting her fingers while she was cooking dinner? Fact or fib? Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a fact. This gentleman, Earl Dickinson, he made these Band-Aids to protect his wife and all the little cuts that she got in the kitchen while she was trying to make his meal. Like, what a great way for him to return the favor. And who would have known that all these years later, these Band-Aids do wonders? Thank you, Earl. So, the next thing I have on my list is, bubble gum. So, bubble gum came out in 1928 by a gentleman named Walter Dimmer. Chewing gum has been around for hundreds of years, but what Walter's goal was that he wanted to make a chewing gum that you were able to blow bubbles with. Hey, now you guys understand, because isn't that the whole point of chewing gum? So, the fact or fib for this one is, do you think that it really takes 7 years to digest gum? Drum roll. Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed false. False, false, false. So when all your teachers told you, oh, if you swallow your gum, it's never going to be digested, or even your parents, it's going to be in your stomach for 7 years. Wrong. It is indeed out and digested within a day, just like most other foods. The next thing I have on my list, moving on, is frozen food. Ooh, I know, ladies and gentlemen, that saves wonders of time. You know, just pop it in real quick and you have yourself a nice little meal. I can't deny it. So, frozen food was made by Clarence Birdseye. Birdseye, which should sound familiar because it's a very popular frozen food product, like vegetables, and it came out in the 1930s. So the whole story about frozen food is that he was hanging out with a bunch of Eskimos, and he seen that when they were fishing, that they were able to catch the fish and then store it frozen immediately. So he took that idea and made that's where he got his idea for frozen food, and what that is called is flash freezing. So Clarence did the same thing with regular food in order to preserve all the nutrition in it. So, ladies and gentlemen, fact or fib? Are TV dinners good for you? True or false? The answer is it can actually be both true and false. It could be true that they are good for you because they offer now lean cuisine, and that is lower calories, high in protein. But the false aspect of it is because TV dinners carry a lot of sodium, which could raise your blood pressure and have more calories. So you can look at the lean cuisine and you can look at the regular ones, but I'd say they're both pretty good. I've tried both, and I remember those brownies for the kids' TV dinners. Those were the best. But as we all know, frozen food. Let's take a look at what our options are. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Perfection ice cream. We could never have ice cream if we didn't have this freezer. Simple as that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very thankful for dear old Clarence Birdseye. Yes. So moving on is the microwave oven. So it was made by Dr. Percy Spencer in 1945. He worked with atomic energy, and one day while he was working with such, he had a chocolate bar melt in his pocket. So he came to the conclusion when he was working with the energy that it was able to actually melt something. So he took this idea and made it so it could be used for everybody. So, fact or fib? If you put metal in the microwave, will it catch on fire or explode? Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed true. True. Do not stick metal in the microwave unless you are ready to spend money on another one. Don't do it, ladies and gentlemen, because we will learn the hard way. You will learn the hard way, because I'm not doing it such. But, they are very nifty. Come look at one for yourself. You just open it on up, stick your food inside, close it, start, boom! Dinner's ready in 5. The next thing on my list is the crock pot. Crock pots, yay! Love them. Always make a good stew. And speaking of stew, it was made by Irvin Naxon in 1940. He wanted a slow cooker to make a stew that his mom taught him to make, but he didn't want to keep checking the pot. Lazy. I'm just kidding. So he actually invented the crock pot so it can slow cook food and you could be more available to do other things during the day. Pretty genius, you know? I'd say so. So, fact or fib? When this invention of the crock pot became popular, did it allow women to work more or allow women to get back into the working field more? I can't contain it. It's true. It's really true, everybody. So that the smallest thing you would think about, a crock pot, allowed women to work more because I didn't have to stay at home and cook the meal. It could cook all day slow while they were out, and they were able to provide more for their family. So look at that. Everything has a cause and effect. And the last thing I have on my list is the pocket calculator. Ooh, I know it looks old because now we all try to use our phones. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the original. So, it was made by Jack Kilby in 1970. It was a collaboration between American and Japanese scientists to help make scientists' jobs easier because only the government and high-end companies had these calculators. Because, ladies and gentlemen, these calculators were huge. Huge, very expensive, so they wanted to make this to make the scientists' jobs easier because there's a lot of math involved in science. So, you know, good for them for helping them out. So, fact or fib? The first pocket calculator ran on batteries. Batteries. It's false. No batteries for the first calculator. It ran on solar energy, which meant that you were able to use the calculator in any of the rooms that had light. We're in the kitchen, there's light, we can use it in here. You can use it outside. But that's what the first ones did run on. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for my inventions and my fact or fib. Stay tuned till next week.